Good day, folks. Today I'm going to talk to you about Romeo and Juliet's prologue. Before we even look at a word of the prologue, I want you to realize that this prologue is a poem in itself. It is a sonnet. A sonnet is a poem that contains 14 lines and is made up of 3 quatrains and a couplet. A quatrain is a combination of 4 lines with an alternating rhyme scheme, where the first line rhymes with a third and the second line rhymes with a fourth. So every other line rhymes. And it ends with a couplet. A couplet is 2 lines together that rhyme. Okay. Now, the big thing about Shakespearean sonnets is that they're written in what's called iambic pentameter. Iambic pentameter. What that means is it is in the meter of a penta. Now, a penta means 5, so it is in a meter of a repetition of 5. 5 what, you may ask? Well, it is 5 iambs. An iamb is a syllabic compilation of an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. So an iamb is 2 syllables. You take that iamb, you combine it with 5 others, you have a total of 10 syllables. Let's look at the prologue. This is it. 2 households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these 2 foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows do with their death bury their parents' strife. Now the fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage. The which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. This is the entire play of Romeo and Juliet right here, distilled down into 14 lines. Let's look at the first quatrain. 2 households, both alike in dignity. Let's just look at this real quick. If you look at the syllabic structure, 2 is unstressed, house is stressed. That is 1 iamb, 2 house. Holds is unstressed, and both is stressed. So now we have 2 iambs. Alike, in dignity. So we have 10 syllables on this line. 2 households, both alike in dignity. This is the Capulets and the Montagues. They are both alike in dignity. They are both wealthy, and they are the same social status. Okay, one is not better than the other. This takes place in Verona, which is in Italy. That's where the scene happens. That's where the play is taking place. The third line, from ancient grudge, it's breaking to new mutiny. We've got an old feud between these 2 houses, and they're going to start fighting anew. Okay, it's a big rivalry, and they're going to start fighting all over again. Where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. Even the civilians are getting involved in this fight. Okay, they have to dirty their hands to stop these people from fighting, to break it up sometimes. So that's the setting of this play. We haven't even heard about Romeo and Juliet yet. We just know their families are fighting. The next quatrain. From forth the fatal loins of these 2 foes. Well, they're kids is what it's talking about here. It's Romeo and Juliet, the children of these enemies. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life. We've got a lot going on in this line. First of all, they're star-crossed lovers. We will see in Romeo and Juliet that the stars are controlling our fate. One of the big decisions or the big ideas in life is that you are either in charge of your life, you make all the decisions, and you are in charge of your own destiny. There's also a counter belief that you are not in charge, right? You are just swept away on the river of destiny, and no matter what choices you take, you're going to end up where you're supposed to go. In this play, it's as if Romeo and Juliet don't have a choice. They end up where they end up because the stars are leading them to their death. So this star-crossed lovers, right? They love each other, and the stars are leading them to their doom. They take their life. It's not just they die, they kill themselves. Whose misadventures, piteous overthrows, do with their death bury their parents' strife. So they have these crazy misadventures, right? And they kill themselves, and with that death, their parents' strife is done. That's what it takes to end the feud. These two killing themselves. The final quatrain. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage. So these 4 lines are kind of telling us what the previous 8 lines said, right? They've got death-marked love, and their parents are fighting, and the fighting wouldn't stop until the kids kill themselves. And that's what's going to happen on these next 2 hours, right? If you're watching the stage, that's what you're going to see. In our final couplet, the which, if you with patient ears attend. If you pay attention with your ears, what you didn't hear here, our acting will spend it. You'll see what I just said. And that's the prologue. 14 simple lines that tells you exactly what the whole play is. All sorts of wonderful foreshadowing of death and strife, and tells you exactly what's going on. The beauty of Shakespeare now is going to be to see how he does all of this in the next 2 hours.